I'm in Hainan, China's southernmost island province, with a tropical climate, golden sand beaches, and lots of coconuts. Hainan has become a top holiday peak, but it wants to be more. To be an engine for consumption, investment, innovation, and by 2050, a world-class free trade port. That means zero tariffs, low tax, no frills custom, and a slew of other trade-friendly policies. Those will enable people, capital, and data to flow freely in and out of the island. A blueprint from China's central government seeks to make Hainan the epitome of the country's openness. Big changes are taking place on this island, and I've come here to catch the beginning of it all. First stop, the arcade streets in Haikou City, Hainan's provincial capital. The architecture here reflects the island as a melting pot, always open to embracing cultures and people from all over the world. Arcade streets originate in Southeast Asia. Hainanese who worked overseas brought it home in the 1900s. Going back 1,000 years, Hainan was a vital stop on the ancient maritime Silk Road. While Arab merchants don't arrive on boats anymore these days, friends from places far and wide still come to Haikou. Meet Dennis, an architect from California who has lived in Haikou for 7 years. Before we get to his job, I want to show you what he does during his lunch break.
Here we have a long lunch break from 12 to 2:30. I can go and kite surf any day. How can you beat that?
As an architect, Dennis puts his love for nature into designing green buildings. He pointed out the fact that the arcade buildings we are sitting next to are green buildings even before the term was coined. The recessed arcades are designed to shield people from the sun, and they bring shoppers closer to storefronts. A win-win. A big Chinese bank has asked Dennis to design their Haikou headquarters. And Dennis says he expects more businesses to come to Hainan to take advantage of its free trade port policy, which means more work for him.
Last year, out of more than 300 skyscrapers built in the entire world, China had 153. So where else to be an architect than in China? And,
Well said.
And where else to be working with nature and enjoying the environment like Hainan?
Or a coffee here.
Or a coffee here, exactly.
Since the blueprint for Hainan Free Trade Port was released this year, all eyes are on China's largest tropical island. The Hainan Free Trade Port aims to be at par with other international trade ports like Singapore and Dubai by 2050. The recent passage of the RCEP,
the RCEP agreement,
the world's largest trade pact, has also given Hainan, located at the center of the region, an extra edge. And the wind is really blowing this way. Many believe it's going to be a golden opportunity for Hainan when the 2021 International Consumer Products Expo is to be held here. And right behind me, the venue is almost ready. The big-scale Consumer Expo will be held every year. Golden brands who are eager to win over Chinese consumers are expected to flock to Hainan, which has become a duty-free shopping paradise. I visited an office that is helping to make Hainan's big dreams known to the rest of the world, especially to those who are looking to invest.
Good morning. Thank you for calling Global Investment Service Hotline.
Guten Morgen, Hainan IDB.
Алло?
Удева, алигато гузаймасу. Кайнан Кусай Кейзе по обслуживанию международных инвесторов на Хайнане. Меня зовут Руслан. Чем я могу вам помочь?
Director Ji told me the ultimate goal for 2020 is to bring in $3 billion of investment into Hainan. The pandemic, though, has posed the big challenges, but he and his colleagues are busy working around them. They have held hundreds of meetings, forums, talks about Hainan's friendly policies for companies to do businesses here. I didn't mean to pour cold water on Dr. Ji's enthusiasm, yet it's hard to ignore the elephant in the room. In the past, Hainan had preferential policies, but the results have not always met expectations. In 1988, Hainan was already designated as one of China's first special economic zones, putting it at the forefront of reform and opening up. But looking at the ranking of Chinese provinces per capita GDPs over the years, one can see that compared to the other 5 coastal provinces, Hainan development has been lagging.
88年我来了海南，为什么海南一直没有发展起来呢？因为中国的改革。
He said Hainan's relatively slow growth was partly because the islands of 9 million people did not have enough resources to set up big factories and missed out on the manufacturing boom. Rather, Hainan's strength is with its service industry, and now its potential can be unleashed.
中国新一轮改革开放呢，是以服务业为主的对外开放，尤其在国内国际双循环中，特别是外循环和内循环的切入点，就选择了海南，因为海南这个地方是个独立的地理空间，所以它总量也不大，人口占比也不大，这样可以大胆试大胆闯。
Hainan's unique policies will soon be written into law, which will give investors even more incentive and confidence to put their money here. As for the Consumer Expo opening coming May, Ji says they hope that one day the event will gain international recognition.
我们也希望国际知名。
You have big ambitions. Words of ambition, something heard often in Hainan these days.